25, 30, 35, 40. Funding has been one of the biggest barriers to growth for the Blessing Basket Project. Recently, I was in Uganda, Africa, at the home of one of our artisans, and she was proudly showing me around her place all the things she had done with her prosperity wages. One of the things she wanted to show me was inside her house, so she took me to the window and I peeked in, and there I saw hundreds of baby chicks. So I asked her, Abdu, why are the chickens in the house? And she said she was waiting on the next order from the Blessing Basket Project and to get paid for that order before she could build her chicken coop. There was only one reason we had not placed an order with Abdu already, and that was working capital. The Blessing Basket Project simply did not have the working capital it needed to place an order with her for the next round of baskets. For the better part of 8 months, I went around the greater St. Louis area seeking a line of credit from traditional lenders. While they all agreed the Blessing Basket Project was a great cause, we had a great business model, there was one thing we could not provide that they all wanted, and that was collateral for the line of credit. The only thing that we had was our baskets, and that simply wasn't good enough for traditional lenders in this area.
When the juice box can't get funding, then 14-year-olds like Courtney, who come in to share that they found out through a doctor's visit she has high blood pressure, simply can't have access or find the products that are needed to actually address those symptoms. She actually made a purchase, walked away with information that empowered her to make better dietary choices, and several weeks later she actually returned to share that her blood pressure had indeed gone down. She came back to the store with her aunt. Her aunt shared that she too suffers from high blood pressure as well as hypertension. Unfortunately, we simply didn't have the products on the shelf that day to actually allow them to walk away with the product. This is one of many stories of what happens when a social enterprise simply cannot get the funding that's needed. And this has been an ongoing problem with our social enterprise. Bankers are typically looking for a financial rate of return, and getting them to understand that a social rate of return for a social enterprise typically is how we measure our impact.
Call it capital, cash, or investments. A threat across the social enterprise spectrum is an inability to access the money we need to scale the enterprises we've sacrificed everything to launch. As Teresa and Sean made clear, we've tried the banks, we've tried the private foundations and other traditional lending sources, but they just aren't equipped to handle our new breed of social businesses. Now, the news isn't all bad. In fact, St. Louis, and specifically Washington University, has done an incredible job of early stage support to social enterprises. Business planning, mentoring, seed capital to launch. But if we're going to grow St. Louis, build St. Louis, we have to move beyond the ideas and develop the ecosystem of support and access to capital that social enterprises need to fulfill their full potential.